So why form a union? Well, first is mutual aid and protection. That means that you're working together about your work life, work wages, hours, and working conditions, and you're going to work together to improve those things. You get an employment contract. So you'll negotiate as a group with your employer a contract that includes all of the terms, conditions, hours, wages, everything that you can negotiate legally into the contract to protect you at work. Your employer has to follow it, workers have to follow it. You get an employment contract, not an employee handbook. You get just cause, termination, and discipline. Now that's the piece that is most critical, is that in an at-will setup, which is the majority of workers, your employer could come in today and say they don't like your shirt. You're going to go. They don't have to give you a reason at all. They don't have to say anything. As long as it's not one of the protected laws that they're violating, they're fine to fire you for any reason whatsoever. There's no seniority right. You could be the longest person there. Maybe they say you make too much money. Doesn't matter. They can do that. You get just cause in a contract, you have due process rights. That means that the employer has to have just cause or just reason for discipline or termination. So essentially management has to manage, and you have the right to a fair proceeding before any of those things happen. That's probably one of the most critical pieces. You also have a grievance procedure in the contract. So if you have an issue where you believe the employer is violating the contract or some other issue, or perhaps even law, you can file a grievance, which is simply just a statement saying that you believe this has been violated, and you work through a process to resolve the issue. Usually at the end of that is binding arbitration between the employer and the union, and that's a good thing. You get respect, dignity, fair treatment, equal footing with your employer, and you get representation. Those things are critical, and that's why you would form a union.